Yeah, they do. So things are going to change on that team. I know he's a good kid. We know a lot about him, and he's still very underdeveloped. So he's got a lot of room to fill out and get stronger. But you can't teach the skill that he has. And then with the next pick, we took a. I think the London guys like to call him a mini Dale Hunter.
Right.
And, we obviously liked his brother too, but we couldn't get to him. But that one there, I think, he just epitomizes the type of players that like to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. So we're thrilled, even though he's a little smaller. They're built pretty well, and they're gonna go through a wall for you. And then with our last one, this is a guy, Tommy Bergman. He'd been on me all year about this kid. And they list him at 5'6.5", I think, in RinkNet, or but he's not. He's like 6'2", 200 pounds.
That's a little bit of a
yeah, just a wee bit. So guys said we should change it in the program. I said no, don't change it. Just leave it the way it is. So thankfully Berkey didn't see it beforehand. And but Tommy is on me all year about him. He's a little bit. I put him a little bit in the Jesse Blacker mold. He's a real good skater, speed, a lot of energy in his game, gets the puck up quick, and a high compete level. So I felt good that I was able to get a guy that he really likes. So we're happy with the way it played out.
Going back to Matt Finn, sorry, bro, but he was expected, some lists, to go mid-first round, maybe 15 to 20. Any reason why you think he dropped, and what kind of player are you guys getting there?
Well, I don't know why he dropped. It's funny because Dave Poulin and I always try to pick the next pick what the other teams would want, and I think we alternate, and each guy would have the first pick, and at a certain point, each of us kept going Matt Finn with the next pick. So, last night we got back to our room. I said, well, what are the chances of us getting him at 35? We thought, well, it's going to be tight, and we weren't sure, and sure enough, so we're very happy. He's plays a ton of minutes in Guelph, and he's got good offensive numbers. He's smart, moves the puck very well. He competes, got good size. He's not afraid of physical play, although he's not necessarily a mean defender, but he plays hard. He goes to all the dirty areas, does what he has to. And I think he's probably got more offensive ability than he even displayed this year. I think I talked to Scotty Walker's coach a number of times about him, and he just said, he said, I play the kid so much. He says, I don't know how much he has in the tank sometimes to push the offensive envelope. So needless to say, we're thrilled to get him, and we think he's a much better player than where we got him. So time will tell.
Dave, the one kid you took out of Erie, was it Connor Brown?
Yes.
Minus 72. Is that a reflection of just a bad defensive team more than the individual?
Yeah, that's. I think it was just before you got here. I actually got. I tackled that one right away.
Sorry.
So
that's become like going down the park. You asked them, "Is this a misprint?"
Yeah, no, it's not a misprint. I think it is a team that was really, really young and still developing, and things are going to change there. Things are going to change. Obviously, they've got a very, very good young player going in that they just signed from the OHL draft. So things are going to change there, if not next year, the year after. But you know what? He's a competitive kid, and he's got lots of skill, and we feel like he's got tons of room to physically grow. So we just like the skill set. We just think there's a lot there, and I maybe that's why we got him where we got him. I don't know that, but we just feel like we got a guy with lots of upside.
Did Rupert compare to Brad Ross in terms of the agitator type role, do you think, Dave?
I think so, yeah. Again, he's kind of like a mini Dale Hunter. That's what they call him in London. And, his brother, too. And, we've already talked to his brother about bringing him to camp. And, we really like to get the both of them together that way. But he is that kind of player. He's a little bit along the lines of a Brad Ross, but he's going to go through a wall for you. And he epitomizes everything you want in a player that, in terms of wanting to win, do whatever it takes, defend your teammates, push the envelope in any way, and he's a really intelligent player. I think sometimes it's lost in all the rest of this game, but he's a really smart hockey player.
You have Percy last year and Finn this year, Toronto kids who grew up worshiping the Leafs and all that. But do you hope one of these years it pays off? Because isn't it the first time you've hoped that a hometown kid would really seize the moment, so to speak?
Yeah, I think so. You know what? These kids are they're bright young guys that they've been brought up properly and all the references were good with them, and they've got a good head on their shoulders. And I think when you have all of that, I don't see why they wouldn't excel in our environment. There's no reason why they can't. I mean, and I truly believe in these kids.
Did you know that Finn and Carlo Koliakovo were related? Or cousins?
I should know that, but I didn't. I didn't know that. I'll be honest with you, I did not know that.
Yeah, second cousin.
Yeah. Okay.
How tough a draft is this on your European scouts when you see all these North Americans going in terms of keeping these guys happy and knowing all the work they've put in this year, Dave?
Well, you know what? It's funny because, sometimes you have to manage your scouts, and we have a fairly large staff, and it's hard because you can't get everyone. Having said that, I did talk about Victor Louvre that, Tommy had been on me all year about, so we were able to get him. There was one pick before that where there was a guy we really liked, and he literally got picked, within a few picks before us. So, you try sometimes, but you can't do it. And the guys are all professional enough, and they know that, that we're all going to pull on the same rope here. So
we kind of expected a goalie to be picked. No goalies, though.
Well, again, that happened to us again today, where we were going to take goalies. There was two of them, and they just went. So you can't. And I'm not going to, we can't, we got to go by our list too. I think, we're trying to invite one right now that we like, so hopefully we can get him. And it's just the way it rolls sometimes.